Hi, this is Pet Taylor from Best Scrapbooking Ideas. Yes, it's Pet for Peter. I've been called Pet for many years because my initials spell P-E-T, Pet. I'm going to show you the way that I think of creating scrapbooks, and we'll have a look to start off with an old photo album that I made about 30 years ago, because I'm going to use the same sort of design ideas in construction. The cover is detachable. It's held on by book screws. And because it features by travels, I've made the cover out of a map. The back of the spine is covered and it can be written on very easily and replaced if the album is made thicker. There are some spacing pieces in the spine itself to compensate for the thickness of photographs, and I think you can see there are lines of grooves there which help the pages to open nicely, and I'd like to talk about that next as I go up to make a new album, new scrapbook. I think you can see here the benefit of having those score lines put into the pages. It really helps the book to open perfectly. Somebody could have it on their knees quite easily and it's going to open and stay nice and flat. You can also see from this my results of having used spray glue to put in the photographs. The corners of them are now starting to lift, and I really wonder about some of the adhesives which we're often advised to use. I'll tell you more about that later on. So jumping ahead now, I'm going to use this paper for my new scrapbook, and I'm putting some pressure on the sheet of paper in two directions to find out which is the easiest way that it folds. It's definitely that way. That's the way that my page is going to open. Okay, so here's my padding for the spine to compensate for all the things I'm going to add in. And I want my creasing folds to go about little finger width from the edge of the compensation strips, and I'll put another one in a little bit further inwards. Nice and conveniently I can put my ruler along the edge and score down, then move the ruler so that the edge of the little marks there sit on the first score line, and then I'll put the second one in. Hopefully all my pages will be marked out the same way and they'll all bend and open perfectly. I like my scrapbooks to have margins, not have the pictures right up against the edge of the pages. And I look at well-designed books and try to appreciate what they've done with margins on those. In the centre, the white space that you can see from the two pages combined looks about the same as the amount of white that you can see on the right hand side. So for an individual page, the margin on the left is going to be smaller than the margin on the right hand side. The width of that margin on the right hand side is going to be about the same as the margin on the top, and the bottom margin will be a bit bigger. Just so that you can see it easier, I'm going to pencil in where my crease lines were for the opening of the pages. And now I'll draw where I think the margin should be. Less on the left. And a bit more on the right. Whatever I had on the right hand side here, the same amount at the top. So I'm going to try and keep my photos within those limits. There we are, I've made it a bit darker. I could put a background paper in that rectangle I've created in the middle, or I could line up my photographs, journaling, embellishments, whatever else I'm going to put on the page, so that they don't come out beyond those lines. Well, look at what I can do, what you can do in the next video.